The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, America, and he had two horns like a lamb, the Republican and Democratic Party, and he spake as a dragon, harsh, fierce. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashah, Bahara Kakadash. The honors of the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. That scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen. We're good at the 144,000 preachers to the prophet Shalom. We're in a time where this system, this political system, right now Trump is in, the Republican Party, the right, which the left and the right are part of the same dragon, all right? But Trump, their cruel lord, is now speaking as a dragon, meaning fierce, harsh, all right? You go into this word dragon, dracon, or draken. It says a fabulous kind of a serpent, right? So let's get it. Blue letter real quick. Trump just signed the death penalty law, the executive order. Yeah, he just signed the death penalty, executive order for death penalty, for the death penalty. Let's get this word dragon, draken, or dracon. Saying the same thing. Let's get the root. We'll just get the etymology. Got to pull it up. Draconian. It's the same thing. Draco. In reference, I'm sorry, the ancient Greek statesman 1777 in reference to laws rigorous, extremely severe, or harsh, draconic. You see? So these laws are what? Rigorous, extreme, severe, harsh. In actuality, this law, the death penalty, is not harsh. All right? Because for in the law, it says a life for a life. Now, we're in the time when Yahweh Shema Shai got the spirit on Esau to bring the hammer down, man. All right? Now, you finish reading, it says, right here, my fault, right here, a code of laws for Athens, C621 BCE, that mandated death as punishment for minor crimes. All right? Dragon. You see, for minor crimes. Now, you say, well, if he signed the executive order to bring back the death penalty for people who kill people, now how is that so severe? It's not. See, he's saying it's going to be for those who kill someone.
The ankle padding is a life.
But it's not just for those. If you know and understand what he just signed, it's not only for if you kill somebody. All right, real quick, when you get Revelation 13 and 15, and you have power to give life into the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You see? So also, if you don't worship this beast system, they're justified. He just signed the law that justifies killing you. All right? Literally. Why? Because you will be labeled as a treason or treasonous. Treason. We went into this before. Treason, the crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow, you see, or overthrow the government. The action of betraying someone or something is treason. So if you don't bow the knee to this beast system, that's betraying something, and that's this beast system. It's historical, the crime of murdering someone to whom the murderer owed allegiance, such as a master or husband, What qualifies as treason? You know what? I want to type in. Let me see. Yeah. What is a penalty for treason in the United States? In the United States, a person convicted of treason can face the death penalty. You see that? That means having a difference of opinion, and or not bowing the knee to this new world order that they're about to put in place, or that they're putting in place. It says, or imprisonment for a minimum of 5 years and a fine of at least $10,000. You see that? According to 18 U.S.C. 2381, additionally, anyone convicted of treason is permanently barred from holding any office or position of authority under the United States government. So you see, if you're not in alliance or an allegiance, you don't bow the knee to this ideology, this new beast system, this new way, you're gonna be put to death and or imprisoned. All right. So you see how harsh they're speaking. So again, it's not just for if you kill somebody, and this is not limited to DC. They're gonna tell you it's for the whole country. All right. Now he signed this in the law. All right. Now, hey, now you see these things. Hey, we're gonna be labeled as treasonous, man. All right, this sense. And some of us will be put to death. All right? For being labeled as what? Treasonous. Yeah, treasonous. The sense. Revelation 20:4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. That's 144,000. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. See, that's been a martyr. The only way they can, that's the death penalty, okay, for going against the new world order. But you've been labeled as a martyr, meaning one who dies for their faith, okay? And some of the elect are going to die, are going to be beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of God Yahweh, you see, and for the word of God Yahweh, the truth, which goes against the system, and which had not worshipped the beast. You see, neither his image, you see, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads. So you see, if you don't take the mark of the beast, bow the knee to this wicked beast system, okay, and this wicked new world order, these new laws, you're going to be what? Beheaded. If you don't take the mark of the beast, you're going to be beheaded. If you don't bow the knee, you're going to be beheaded. Some of us. Or in their hands. And they live and reign with Hamashiach Yahushua 1,000 years, right? They shall not partake in the second death. But shall what? Have eternal life. You see? You see that? What's that? Revelation, martyr. Spell it right. I cannot spell it up. It's a Y in there somewhere. Revelation 17:6. And I saw women drunken with the blood of the saints, the Israelites, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So you see, that's America, man. Ain't no other country saying, hey, I'm going to take out the Israelites. That's only America saying that. All right? Remember, America rules the world. America is the ruler over all the nations. Martyr, Greek 31:44. Martus, a witness. It says martyr, record, witness. You see? As we read in Revelation 20. All right? And also he signed an executive order that's going into come after any political party, any party or organization that promotes violence or that's engaged in violence. And it's not limited to Antifa. which we went into Antifa. That's anti-fascist. All right, you go into anti-fascist. Anybody that's against this authority, this fascist or authoritative government. All right. So hey, it's Revelation 13 and 15. All right. So hey, these things are in place, man. He literally signed the executive orders. So hey, we're in the time of prophecy. All right. The persecution. Oh, and y'all still here. Y'all missed the route. That shit. Jesus came and left y'all. Matter of fact, he didn't even show it. Left y'all stranded. Y'all got to go through this. As a matter of fact, the guy that really started it, he deleted the damn the live video. Dip. He dipped. But anyway, let's just play this. I'm gonna play up to the 53-minute mark. So hey, I done said what you how about Shema should have me say. Just listen to him, and they gonna tell you what it is, man. All right, so hey, we here. The line, hey, he signed the executive order. These things are in place now, man. All right. So this, we in a scary time, but at the same time, hey, we're in a time where hey, our faith is going to have to be increased. It should be increased already, but it's going to have to level up, man. Remember, we're in a time where hey, our faith is going to have to be beyond the faith of our forefathers and foremothers. You said, why you say that? Because remember, we are entering into the time, the worst time ever since it was a nation. You know how much level of faith that's going to require? More faith beyond in the empire, the captivity of Israel. Okay? Remember, the just shall walk by faith, man. That's the time we in, and not by sight.
Let's talk about the next subject, shall we?
One of the most powerful deterrents we have to violent crime is the death penalty. As you said, your administration has taken bold, decisive steps to ensure that Washington, D.C. is once again a safe and secure city for its residents and all who visit. This is a presidential memorandum that directs your Attorney General and your U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Judge Janine Pirro, to fully implement the death penalty here in Washington, D.C.
I got to say this. They're going to tell you it's not just for Washington, D.C. They're going to tell you that. Listen, I'm sorry.
The evidence and facts of a case indicate that the death penalty should be used.
Okay, everybody.
In the case that the death penalty should be used. Now, we just went into the word treason. What's one of the punishments? Death. You see? So it's not just for someone who kills someone. It's also someone who's labeled as a dissent, as a treasonous, one who goes against the system, man.
Death penalty in Washington. You kill somebody, or if you kill a police officer, law enforcement officer, death penalty.
That's
so again, it's way down. I mean, we have had week after week after week where we haven't had a murder. I said that the other day in front of the president of Poland. The press was here, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce that Washington, D.C. has not had a death in 4 weeks, a murder. And he looked at me and goes, is that good or bad? You know, he said, what kind of a place is this? But it's true for years. I mean, every week, essentially, somebody got killed or more than one. And this is a very safe city right now. We don't play games. And, you know, it's interesting. We took these careers out, career criminals. They call them careers. They left the word criminal out. But we took the careers out of here. And they're now brought back to their homes, or they're in jail, or they're in a jail in another country. And hopefully they're not coming back. And we have to maintain it. You can't just leave. And we have to maintain it. And we've gotten along fairly well with the mayor. You know, she's getting a party that hates that the city's becoming safe. I mean, they're actually criticizing her because the city's becoming safe. But this is becoming this is right now a...
Hey, it's Christina Hall.
Sorry about that commercial.
They're always blown away by how amazing it smells in here. With hotel...
Because the city's becoming safe. But this is becoming this is right now a safe city. This is considered, this went from the most unsafe city in the country to the safest city in the country. There's no city any safer. That's a pretty big achievement. And we really did it in 12 days. But if you add an extra week to it, that'd be nice. And I mean, you can go out to dinner. Restaurants are booming. You know, the restaurants were dead. They were dead. Even if you got to the restaurant, then somebody would come in and hold you up. You know, they'd hold up the whole restaurant. They go to Uber. Young ladies in the White House, they'd call Uber for protection. They'd run to the car because they were petrified to be from the entrance of their building to the car. Now they feel safe. They're in the car, and then the car gets hijacked while they're in the back of the car. This was what we were living in. We were living in hell. People that work in the White House, every time they see me, young women in particular, say, "Thank you, sir." And I don't even ask them about what. I know exactly. I made their lives. Now they're living in a beautiful, glamorous place called Washington, D.C. with no crime, and that's the way it should be. Okay? This is the death penalty for somebody that kills people in Washington, D.C. I think it's capital. It's a very interesting capital punishment, capital city.
That's
right? It's capital. But this is our capital city. We can't allow that to happen. People come in from Iowa to look at the Lincoln Memorial and they end up getting killed. It doesn't happen anymore. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's the death penalty for the person that did it. And this goes into effect. Right? Pam, is that right? Could you speak a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. Not only are we seeking it in Washington, D.C., but all over the country again. And as you saw very recently, we are now moving the inmates who were on death row, who Joe Biden or the auto pen commuted their sentences off of death row. We're moving them to supermax facilities where they will be treated like they're on death row for the rest of their lives.
She ain't lying. So, hey, you be labeled as a treasonous. Hey, you be on death row. Remember, we're going to be a number amongst the transgressors just like Yahweh Shah was. Matter of fact, let's just get the persecution phase, man. I mean the persecution. What's that? 41:17. So, hey, we here. All the time of playing around, hey, goofing off, believing false doctrine. Hey, Jesus and Christianity, the law, they losing, man. Hey, they losing big time. You see, hey, there are false prophets who don't prophesy, period. You know, who don't understand prophecy and don't prophesy, period, but always teach a prosperity doctrine. But when times get tight, out the blue, all of a sudden Jesus gave them a vision or a dream or some shit that's opposite of the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? Like, they finished, man. They finished. And when the time, the 11-hour Israelites gonna start coming in, man. They're starting to see that Jesus and Christianity ain't the way. And who's in Christianity and Jesus in the church now? Women. Revelation 6:7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, but I'm sorry, y'all. The 9th verse. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God Yahweh, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, "How long, O Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. You see? So they put things in place for that. All right?
President Trump.
And as you heard Pam Bonner say, hey, they're seeking to do this throughout the whole country.
Okay, that's a big statement. Thank you very much. Okay. I see some of you shaking your heads very positively. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, fellas.
I said on the campaign trail,
The
death penalty is anybody illegal kill a U.S. citizen or a police officer. So this just reinforces your campaign process.
And most people really like it. And Washington, again, it's going to serve as a beacon because you have to do it. These are bad people. When you look at that the guy that killed the young lady in North Carolina, And he'll be in trial for years. He'll get a good lawyer. Somewhere along the line, somebody will come along, and what he did to that young lady, and she went into that train scared. You know, when she went in, the way she sat down, she was scared to just be there. She just wanted to not pay any attention to anybody, just not be noticed. And she had her throat slit. We don't want that in this country anymore. We're not going to have it in this country anymore. Thank you very much. Next.
Lastly, sir, this is a presidential memorandum on countering domestic terrorism and organized political violence. In recent weeks, months, and years, we've seen a tremendous upsurge in some highly visible, but also other acts of domestic terrorism and organized political violence being perpetrated by radical, politically motivated groups all over the country. What this presidential memorandum will do is set off an administration-wide response to that, ranging from the Joint Terrorism Task Forces to other components of the Department of Justice, to the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Treasury. We're looking at interdicting these groups, preventing them from performing acts of violence, and also looking at sources of organization and funding and support that prop them up and allow them to do the acts that they have been doing.
We're looking at the funders of it.
And that's not just talking about Antifa. And all these groups that's labeled, that's on the Southern Poverty Law Center list, the Anti-Defamation League list, is those groups. As a matter of fact, let me pause and pull it up. So it ain't just limited to Antifa. Okay? It's because these groups go against the system and what America pushes, this New World Order. So anybody that's tied to any of these groups, that includes us, y'all, they're coming. Let's just get that real quick. Check that out right there. You can report hate. You see? I want to go. Let me see. I'm going to pause it again. I had to show you that part. I'm going to pull up the list of the groups. Yo, this is a long list, man. A long list. But look, you got right here. I just want to jump down to us. It says other. Man, this a whole list. Just go to the list of, I'll tell you what type in. Here, other black separatists and black nationalists. Right? It says, you can see it. Look, Army of Israel, Black Hebrew Israelites, Ancient Egyptian Distribution Center, Black Riders Liberation Party, Great Millstone, House of David Kemp, House of Israel, International Society of Indigenous Sovereigns, IUIC, Israel United in Christ, Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, that's ISUPK, Israelite The Branches, Israelite Saints of Christ, Lion of Judah, Jeshurun, Lions of Israel, Mashara Yashara, Government of Israel, Mountains of Israel, National Black Foot Soldier Network. So you see, Northern Kingdom Prophets, One Body in Habashah, Sakari. You see that? So look, even you camps, look, Watchmen of Israel, Watchmen for Israel. So even you camps that took the bag, y'all on this list. List of organized hate groups. List of organizations designated by the Southern Poverty Law Center as hate groups. In other words, groups that's against this system, man. Like I said, you just type this in, man. It's so damn long, man. So I just wanted to find it and jump down to that. So you see, hey, we're going to be labeled as treasonous, man. All right? So, hey, what they sign concerning these hate groups is not just Antifa. All right? Because they're going to mention, Trump is going to mention the Southern Poverty Law Center.
A lot of these groups. And, when you see the signs, and they're all beautiful signs, made professional. These aren't your protesters that make the sign in their basement late in the evening because they really believe it. These are...
Yeah, for him speaking on signs, don't forget, hey, you got the, what's this guy named? Grandmaster Jay, that hate group, that sovereign group he pushed out, which he was set up. Then you start to see little signs popping up towards Yahweh Shai coming. When they them two so-called black Hebrew Israelites in Jersey, I think, supposedly hit up this Jewish school or something. See, they've been using all this stuff. They're gonna bring all this stuff to the forefront, man. That's what they've been doing it for. So the stuff that they've done, it wasn't like, okay, they done this, forgot about. Nah, they using it to try to build up a case, man, to justify what they're about to do. Or excuse me, justify what they're doing. All right?
Anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people, some of whom I know, I guess, probably know them. And you wouldn't know it. You're at dinner with them, everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics.
And don't forget, again, reiterating, that, hey, you canceled, sold out, took the bag, teaching false doctrine, and took the bag doing shit for money to go against the truth because you want the money. Y'all groups are up here. Okay? Great Millstone is the only camp I know of that's keeping it solid, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. But you other groups, not saying, other groups that, ain't keeping, straight down the line, but I don't know none. But again, saying I don't listen to all y'all neither. But hey, Esau gonna come down on your ass. And that's Yahweh Shema Shai doing. Remember, your covenant with death shall be disannulled, man. You're gonna get judged for teaching false doctrinal lies. For being a hireling.
Steve, could you say a couple of words?
Yes, Mr. President. This is a very historic and significant day. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle... This fall,
sorry for the
pain
commercial,
and sore arches won't stop.
Antifa's just a cover-up, man.
Boots deliver last. Antifa to dismantle violence and terrorism. What we have seen, if you look at whether it be going back to the riots that started with Black Lives Matter and all the way through to the Antifa riots, the attacks on ICE officers, the doxing campaigns, and now the political assassinations, these are not lone, isolated events. This is part of an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. It is structured, it is sophisticated, it is well-funded, it is well-planned. There is really no parallel like this to anything else in the country right now. There is an entire system of feeder organizations that provide money, resources, weapons, and when they're attacking ICE officers, they're attacking federal buildings, or they're isolating public officials for harassment, doxing, intimidation, and ultimately attempted assassination. It is all carefully planned, executed, and thought through. It is terrorism on our soil. Because of this executive order, Cash and Pam are going to have the tools they need, working with Scott, to take these organizations apart piece by piece. Hub of that effort is going to be the Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, which sits inside the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But for those at home who are worried about terrorism in this country, they need to understand, because of President Trump's strength, because of his vision, because of his leadership, we are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations root and branch. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump and his leadership.
Thank you, Steve K.
You see that? All you groups that took funding. Hey, that's you damn sellout camps, man. Those that sold out. Like I said, the Great Millstone, the only camp I know that didn't sell out. The rest of y'all niggas sold out. For the ones that I know of. Hey, teaching false, just, man, doctors switching up every day. Hey, let's get that real quick. They're coming down on y'all ass. All of us, but hey, y'all gonna be the ones getting judged by Yahweh Shema Shai. Now, some of us, that follow, that's in the Great Millstone and that follow the Great Millstone, some of us will be martyrs, but that's a good thing, man. Blessed are they who die in the Lord, man. All right? Yeah, your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Isaiah, it's either 28 or 20 or 9. This, no, you see? Isaiah 28 and verse 16. Let's start at 14. Wherefore hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, you scorn for men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. It's about the wicked of our people that's teaching false doctrine, took the bag, which ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, Esau, And with hell are we in agreement? When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. Right? That's what you think. For we have made lies our refuge, and on the falsehood we have hid ourselves. Right? Y'all took the bag, y'all signed a contract with Esau, and y'all think he ain't coming down on your ass. Therefore, thus said the Lord God, Yahweh Shema Shah, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. That's Yahweh Shah, the truth, which the great millstone hold, and those who follow them and teach the likewise doctrine. He that believeth shall not make haste. Right? So the true believers are not going to be terrified in word and make fleshly decisions in this time, but stand firm in Yahweh Shema Shah. Judgment also will I lay to the lion, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. Right? This truth is exposing everything, man. And your covenant with death, who the false teachers, preachers, and prophets, the ones that took the bag, that know that they're Hebrew Israelites. And your covenant with death, with Esau, the government, shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand when the overflowing scourge shall pass through. Then you shall be trodden down by it. You see that? You see? You shall be trodden down by it. Ooh. Y'all messed up, man. You messed up. Hey, Yahweh Shai said, hey, those who know that they're Israelites, and you know the truth, you're going to be beaten with many stripes, man.
Rich. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump and his leadership.
Thank you, Steve Cash, please.
Yes, as Steve was saying, Mr. President, thanks to your leadership, crime is going downward in a tremendous fashion, and that's what we want for every city in America. And the FBI's premier flagship enterprise, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, are honored to lead this initiative with our partners in Treasury and Homeland Security, because our citizens are being attacked by, as Stephen said, organized violence, and it's being paid for, not by them, by other people. So what we are going to do, combining forces as Scott and I have done in these last few months, is follow the money. People and organizations have collected funds and put them out in America and organized violence across our country. And thanks to your recognition of this and this executive order and the AG's leadership to lead out and prosecute these individuals, we are properly going to chase them down like the domestic terrorists that they are. And our streets and our communities are going to be safer because the JTTF and the FBI, Treasury and DHS and DOJ are going to combine forces like never before to root out this new evil that is perpetrating our criminal activities across our societies. And we are just so thankful for your leadership and recognition of it. It's not easy to do.
And that's that flood in Revelation 12, man. They coming.
Yep, thank you very much.
What specifically do you want to target?
What?
Besides Antifa, is there a specific group or person you're targeting with this?
Any organized group. Any organized group who are committing these crimes, and we're working with the Secretary of Treasury. You know what law enforcement has told us under President Trump's leadership? He's taken the handcuffs off law enforcement. They can do their jobs now, thanks to you, President Trump, and that's what's happening. And all the agencies that Cash mentioned, we work hand in hand together. Our prosecutors, we're following the money with Treasury, we're working with Homeland Security, Cash's agents, all of our agents, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, combined, are working and with state and local government to take these people off the streets who are jeopardizing lives.
So I was talking with Cash and Stephen about this a couple of days ago, sir. So I believe it was in Oregon where you had a federal building where there were men in black ski masks who are committing acts of violence, who are shutting down a government building. To the president's point, they don't come from nowhere. These are paid people. This is organized. They're committing acts of political terrorism on American soil. And it's time we had a government that looked out for the American people rather than the people who are committing violence against the American people.
When you go out to Portland and you see what's happening in Portland, this is like nobody's ever seen anything like it. Every night, and this has gone on for years, they just burned the place down. And you know, the shop owners, most of them have left, but the few shops that are open, they just use plywood and just like 3/4-inch plywood. They don't put storefronts in because they know it's going to be burned down. These are professional agitators.
Right.
These are bad people, and they're paid a lot of money by rich people, some of whom we know. I'm sure I know some. I don't. If I knew, I wouldn't associate because I'll be in trouble. Because Pam will say, "Why are you associating with this person?" But I will tell you that these are bad bad people, and they're paying a lot of money, millions of dollars. But take a look at Portland sometime. These are crazy people, and they're trying to burn down buildings, including federal buildings. And on my list of things that I want to do before we finish up with the cities, because I think we're going to whip the cities back into shape, but we have to. We cannot let our cities, and that's a small example, but it's the most violent example. It's every night, and they've done it for years. You think maybe at some point they made their point doing, but we're going to get out there, and we're going to do a pretty big number of those people in Portland that are doing that. They're professional agitators and anarchists. They're actually anarchists. Yeah. Go ahead. Why don't you defend? Let's see you defend them, Jeff.
No, I'm not defending anyone. I just want, so that we can explain this in our stories, could you name a couple?
You don't explain it right, though, Jeff. Go ahead. Let's go. Maybe let's give you another chance. Go ahead.
Antifa, Soros. What names are we talking about?
Well, Soros is the name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know, but Soros is the name that I hear. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. Somebody's a pretty rich guy, I guess, and I hear about him. I don't know. Maybe could be him. Could be a lot of people. We hear the same names, but they're bad. And we're going to find out. And if they are funding these things, they're going to have some problems because they're agitators and they're anarchists. These are anarchists. Really bad. Okay, yeah, please.
Mr. General, Mr. President,
Who are you with? Who are you with?
I'm with the Center Square. Sarah Robertovich is my name. So, there's also, as you know, Antifa is not just a domestic terror or now a domestic terror organization. It's also international. I know the Netherlands is looking at also designating them a terror organization. Have you been working with your intel community and your DNI to possibly expand that to making them designating an international terror organization?
It's an international. In many cases, it is international.
These boots are made from a single piece of premium American leather tanned in Pennsylvania. They're built to last.
It's an international. In many cases, it is international.
Mr. President, on Antifa, if someone takes to the streets of America and says they're Antifa, what happens to them? What will happen to them?
Well, I'd say the maximum under the law, and we'll see. Now, if they kill somebody, we just signed a death penalty, so it depends where it is. But if they kill somebody, which they do, I mean, people are dying. You go out to Portland, people die out there. Many people have died over the years in Portland. Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing. But it's anarchy out there, and that's what they want. They want anarchy, like when they attacked Seattle and took over a big percentage of the city. I was going to go out, and we were going to do a big number. They heard that, and everybody broke up all of a sudden. But, you know, you have governors that have to run that, and a lot of them don't do that. I don't like to go in. I'd rather have Pritzker's support when we go into Chicago. But if we don't have it, that's okay, too, because we're paramount, and we will do what we have to do. We're going to make Chicago safe. We're going to make we're going to make as many as we can, and usually that involves a surge. But what we did with, in the case of Chicago, by having the FBI go out there 5 or 6 months ago, we brought it down a little bit. You know, a little bit is 25%, so it's not so little, but it is when you're talking about the kind of crime and killings and murders that you hear in Chicago. But we're going to get it. Chicago's a great city. As the Union Pacific said, the head of the Union Pacific is a great guy. Started off as a low-rung guy. He said he started in a caboose, and now he's the chairman of the Union Pacific. But he's a great guy. But he said, "Sir, don't lose Chicago." The way he said it, I said, boy, it really hit me. You know, here's a man that knows all the cities. The Union Pacific, I guess, is our largest railroad, and he knows all the cities. He's been doing it for 45 years, and he said, "Sir, don't lose Chicago." And the way he said that meant a lot to me, and we're going to go into Chicago very soon. We're going to take care of Memphis. We're going to take care of Memphis. You can't walk a block without getting shot. We're going to take care of that one, and just like we did Washington, D.C., and we're going to do Chicago very soon. Yeah.
Mr. President, we heard there could be an indictment on James Comey. Do you know?
Yeah, that's it, y'all. Hey. Prophecy rolling, man. Things are in place, man. They're setting it up. It's coming. And I just wanted to hit this real quick through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema. Shall I stay prayed up in the names of Yahweh Shema, Shah Shalom.